So, food stamps and fraud. A lot of conversation, you guys. It's unbelievable. There is a lot going on because of the big, beautiful bill that has gotten passed by the House. It's back at the Senate right now. And so, there's a huge conversation specifically talking about the food stamps. And of course, Black Americans, white liberals, these are the side that is obviously upset about this. This is the whole idea of Project 25, shrinking the government down to size, cutting down the waste, the fraud, the abuse, all of it. And apparently, it's a huge problem for Black Americans. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome back to another episode of Archie's Briefings. I'm your host, Arshel Branch. You guys get in the comment section, share this video, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell so that way you never miss an episode. All right, let's go ahead and let's talk about this because very excited to talk about it. Very excited. Let's just go ahead and let's do that, shall we?
There is something that has been on my heart that I did want to discuss. Discipline is a huge part of being productive, being lucrative. I am not for anything that goes against true productivity, true sovereignty of the individual. The choices that we make are what's going to be up for judgment.
All right, you guys. So as I said in the open, we are going to talk about this conversation about food stamps because apparently a lot has happened since I've been off the air. It was a whole big weekend for Memorial Day. We're celebrating the veterans. I have veterans and active duty soldiers in my family. So that's what this whole weekend was about. I haven't been on the air for a while. And while I'm off air, so much conversation is happening. And it's just, I'm trying to understand, and I guess it's not hard to understand Black woke, white liberals. They just don't like the idea that this administration wants to shrink government down to size. Why Black Americans specifically have an issue with this is ridiculous to me. It's like we are supposed to be the group of people, the specific race of people in America who just doesn't trust the government. I'm like, yo, how many times does the government have to violate your liberties, violate your independence, okay, as a community, as you say you are, violate independence that you Black women say you are, and it's a problem for you. You can't be independent and dependent on the government. I'm just saying, maybe you should stop saying you're an independent Black woman. That's just a huge side note on that one. But I got a couple of clips for you guys because, again, huge conversations has been taking place. So the first clip I'm going to show you guys today is a clip of a couple of Black people talking about why this is an issue for them. And really, it's because they're just not reading these bills. I can't tell you. The more I listen to these Black liberals, it's just, are you not reading the bills specifically? Like, are you not reading the policies? I think you're just watching the mainstream media, and this is a huge issue, okay? The mainstream media comes out and says things like, oh, they're saying that 7-year-olds should get jobs. First of all, that's not the actual language in the bill. It's not because we believe as conservatives that you should put children to work under the age of 14. I think at 14, you get your working papers, you can get jobs. But obviously, we're not saying 7-year-olds can get jobs. They're not reading the information. So before I go any further into that, let's just go ahead and let's show a couple of these clips because it's outrageous. It's just ridiculous. And I just tell you, Black liberals, they annoy me. They annoy me. Let's go ahead and let's just start with that clip first, shall we? All right, guys, so this is just one of the clips I'm going to show you. And there's a few others from the compilation here. So let's just start with this one, shall we? Because it's both funny and sad all at the same time. Let's go ahead and let's watch it.
Changing the dependent age from 18 to 7. So I just need to know in August, are we sending them back to school or are we sending them to work? Because if the dependent age is now 7, you trying to say they dependent. If I'm not mistaken, back in the day, they used to work at that age, right? So is he trying to tell us that they need to go back to work? Because I don't think Trump know that these kids ain't regular kids.
Yo.
These kids will flip out if they ain't got they tablets. Now, is we putting them in IT?
The stupidity. So we're saying that they're not dependents anymore. No one's saying that they're not dependent. We're not saying that at all. Read the bill. Stop watching MSNBC, okay? Stop watching CNN. Stop looking at the liberal media and actually read the bill. Listen, Black liberals are just misinformed, but I know these behinds could read. I know they could read. I was about to cuss there for a second, but I cleaned it up. I'm like, I know y'all could read. There's no way that she looks like she could be almost in her, late 30s, early 40s. I know you could read. If you're in your 40s, you could read, okay? You come from a generation where reading and English was important. You may not want to do the research, but I know your behind could read. Let's go ahead and let's just show the other Black liberals who are losing their minds over this, okay? Because this woman, it takes too long. Let's just show the next one, shall we?
Party in Congress are trying to change the age of a dependent to the age of 7. They want to classify anyone over the age of 7 as independent.
No.
To save a few dollars in the SNAP program. So let me get this straight. Your new pint-sized independent is probably still in a booster seat.
I'm gonna leave it there. There's gonna be one more I'm gonna show you guys from this compilation here, but oh my goodness, they just, it's just, Asinine. I love how black women will come out, black women on the left will come out in defense of their welfare, in defense of their, handouts from the government, their dependency on the government. But when it comes to actually protecting parents' rights in the schools, where are you on that one, black women? Where are you on protecting children from the abominable ideology that pushes transgenderism? Where are you on that? I don't see you coming out and trying to protect kids from government overreach. No, you just want to protect you getting access to welfare. Like, ridiculous. One more, you guys, and then we're going to move on to the next part of this whole debate that I want to talk to you guys about. So let me just play one more and then we can move on to the next thing, okay?
Trump literally just said that if you over the age of 7 years old, you are no longer dependent, that 7-year-olds can go and work a job as if they were an adult. He's literally treating any child over 7 years old like an adult. And it's crazy because America is literally watching it happen. That means your 7-year-old is considered an adult. That 7-year-old, after the age of 7, they are no longer dependent on their parents. And the majority of the reason why he's doing this is because he said that over the age of 7 can no longer be claimed on food stamps. That if your child is over the age of 7, everybody know that the black families or whatever community, the white families, whoever's on food stamps, everybody knows that you get more food stamps per child. But Trump is literally
Right. You get more handouts depending on how many children you have. Doesn't matter if the father's there. I mean, we say this. It's like, again, look at what they're coming out in defense for. I tell you, the ideology of the left is just warped. And Black America, we just need an exorcism because, listen, wanting the handouts from the government, period, okay, it's killing the community. It's killing the community, okay? Black Americans are depleting in population. They're depleted in wealth, okay? Black women have the most amount of debt in American society, specifically when you're looking at student loan debt. I mean, this is ridiculous. Look at what you're coming out in defense for. 8-year-olds are now adults, okay, but an 8-year-old could choose their gender. I don't see you coming out and saying that they can't choose a gender. They're not old enough to work. Why are they old enough and competent enough to choose their gender? I don't see you trying to stop that. Look at what these women are coming out in defense of. Look at what Black leftists are coming out in defense of. I'm going to come out of this so we can actually talk about this particular thing, and then we're going to move on to the next part of this food stamp debacle. Let's go ahead and let's do that, shall we? 3 different Black women coming out and saying why they do not like the fact that this administration wants to limit how much food stamps are actually made available, right? You get food stamps, you get to put dependents on food stamps for every new child that a woman has. So a woman with 10 babies, no husband, come on. That you don't think that's a problem? You don't think that we should see some kind of welfare reforms here, that maybe we should be trying to do something? Let's be clear about this bill, okay? It does not say that 7-year-olds are adults. It does not say that 7-year-olds are independent. No, it says that if your child is 7, you have to prove as the adult, okay, who has a 7-year-old dependent, that you work below the age of 7, okay? You don't have to prove that you work. If they're 7, you got to prove that you can work, so that you got to prove that you're working so you can qualify for food stamps. But now your children are old enough where you can work and they don't need so much in this, that, and the third. That's the idea. The bill does not say that your child doesn't get it at all or that you don't get the food stamps at all. It says, and I'm paraphrasing here, but again, read the darn bills, people, okay? It says that if your child is 7 years old, okay, from 7 to 18 years of age, you as the adult with said dependent has to prove that you have a job in order to get these food stamps. This is to limit the amount of fraud. That's what this is about. To reduce how many people are on it, to reduce the amount of waste, to reduce the abuse, to reduce the fraud, which is perfect because that takes us into this whole other part of this conversation, okay? Because why is it so important? Why is it that Project 25 wanted to see this? Why is it that I wanted to see this happen? Because you guys know me. I'm a supporter of Project 25. I love that President Trump got the Doge thing going. They found a lot of waste and abuse, so they're just trying to get cut, and it was put into the big, beautiful bill. Not as much of it. I'd like a little bit more. But long story short, that's the whole idea, that we're going to cut this government down to size, reduce a lot of these handouts in the welfare system, which destroyed Black Americans, okay? But let's talk about the fraud here. Okay. Yeah. You have to meet certain standards if you're going to get access to taxpayer dollars. Okay. You're using food stamps for Pepsis and Hostess cakes and all these junks and snacks, and you're pissed with RFK for wanting to say you can't pay for poison for your children because he thinks that's what it is. I'm not saying, I don't want any lawsuits, okay? But it doesn't keep your kid healthy, that's for sure. Black women, Black children are facing obesity at higher rates compared to other people, and you're using food stamps to pay for the things that are fattening up your children and getting them sick. That's what you want your food stamps to go for, and then you're pissed when we're telling you got to meet certain requirements, okay? Work requirements when your child reaches the age of 7 years old. Read the bill. Why are we doing this? Because of the fraud, which takes us, you guys, into the next clip that I'm going to show you. There's this woman, and people are just stupid criminals. You don't commit fraud and then get on camera and say you committed fraud. You don't do that. First of all, don't record your crimes. You're like, you guys remember Charles Barkley, do not commit crimes with checks. America, do not commit crimes with checks. Don't record your crimes. That was another stupid thing. Don't record your confession. Don't be on TikTok talking about how you committed fraud. Just a word of advice for you career criminals out there. Don't be stupid criminals and record your damn confession. Excuse my language, because that's what this happened with this particular woman that I'm going to pull up for you guys. Because, oh my goodness, first of all, I couldn't even believe just how open she was about this. It's quite ridiculous, quite ridiculous. So without me giving too much of the story, let's go ahead and let's just run the clip because it's astounding. The stupidity is astounding. And what happens after she goes all over the internet with this, I just absolutely loved. So let's go ahead and let's start with this clip first, shall we? All right, guys. So this is the chick from TikTok who was very open about her circumstances. She openly just confesses on TikTok. I don't know if you want to call it a confession if it's not in front of the police, but ultimately that's what this was. So let's run it. Let's run it. It's interesting.
Like, girl, how you get food stamps? I wish I get food stamps. Bitch, you better start lying. Bitch, that lady called me and said, ma'am, I said, yes, ma'am. She gonna say, what's your address? I said, ma'am, I don't have no address. I've been homeless.
Some fake tears, right?
4 or 5 months.
Candace can talk about that, right?
My family won't let me stay with them, ma'am. I'm starving. While I'm kicked back in a motherfucking 3-bedroom and everything. Living lovely. Then she gonna say, man, what's your job?
I'm gonna leave it there just for now because there's another part of this that I want to show you guys. What did she just say? I have no address, that I have no job, that this is my situation. She's lying. She's lying to the federal government. Okay, she's lying to her state government, to the federal government about what her circumstances are. Mind you, she's getting all this food stamps, but she's got this nice place that she's living in. Mind, she's got this nice home. She's probably got a car that she can't afford. I'm like, look, she's in a car that most likely she can't afford, that she got a car note on, most likely. She got a car note that she can't afford. She's got all these bills, most likely all this debt, okay? And she's lying to the federal government so she can compensate what her money should be going towards, right? She should be using her money to go towards groceries. She doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to spend her hard-earned money, if it's legit money, okay, on groceries. She wants to defraud the government so she can use taxpayer dollars to pay for her groceries when she possibly has a legitimate job. She's got a legitimate job. She's got a car that she probably can't afford. She's living probably above her means where she really shouldn't be doing that because your money should be going towards necessities, and a home is necessity. This is true. And I get that you want to live in a nice neighborhood and all that, but that means increase your income. Don't commit fraud. Okay. Stop your crazy spending on non-essential things. Stop spending on desires. Okay. You might have what you need, but she doesn't want to do that. Nope. She wants to defraud the government. You guys, the story gets better. Story gets better because after she confesses on TikTok that this is what happened, what happens? She ends up getting arrested for it, and it was fantastic. Let me show you guys the clip where she's complaining about the fact that she was arrested for lying and committing fraud against the government. Let's go ahead. Let's do that, shall we? Okay, guys, so this is the clip here where she talks about it. Let's read it together, right? I lied to the food stamp people, and now they took my food stamps, and I owe them $35,000. Yeah, this administration's not playing, okay? We're not playing games. Let's run it. I love this.
That's
I love this.
that I got on TikTok telling y'all about the food stamps.
Yeah, stupid. Stupid.
Do y'all remember that time I got on here and told y'all about the food stamps? Why the fuck did they turn my food stamps off? And I gotta pay back $35,000.
Okay. Just gonna pause for a second. why did I turn my food stamps off? Now, obviously, people say it like that because it's like, yo, this is what's happening. Like, yo, did you like, yo, why'd I do that? Like, I think she knows why. You defrauded the federal government. You defrauded the government. Okay. And now you got to pay this money back. I don't understand why this is such a shocker. This administration wants you to pay back what you borrowed, what you stole. Okay. That's going down. Let's let it keep going.
They turned my food stamp off and I gotta pay back $35,000. And now I'm fucking aggravated because how y'all didn't know I was playing on him? Y'all just running with shit.
Yeah.
But them motherfuckers really turned my goddamn food stamps off and I have to pay them back $35,000. I don't know where the hell I'm gonna get $35,000 from, but I have to pay them back. So y'all watch what y'all put on the internet because everything is not for the internet. And I learned it.
Everything's not for the internet. No, you were stupid. How did you not know? Well, you made it easy. You made it easy for them to find you. When you get out here and say, like, especially like with the student loans, when they get on the TikTok, I sound old, when they get out on the internet and they say things like, I got no plans on paying it back. It's got your handler. Okay. They could just find out your email. All of these social media platforms and streaming platforms all have backdoors to the federal government. Okay. This is true even with the bank accounts. Okay. The government has access to this information. Let's not pretending. So the second you come out on the internet, they can find you. Okay. Big brother, they will find your behind. And hey, listen, that's a whole other debate as to whether or not the government should have that kind of access to the information. But you certainly gave them probable cause when you get out on the internet and say you committed a crime. Hilarious. I'm going to come out of this, you guys, and we're going to wrap this up. That is hysterical. Let's just come out of this, okay? People out here committing fraud, okay? Committing fraud. And then they wonder why this administration wants to do something about cutting welfare and all these, socialist handouts. Like, really, it's about cutting the socialist government down to size. I mean, the bigger the government gets, the harder it is to contend with, okay? They have too much access into our lives. You are willingly handing over your independence by saying you want access to all of these handouts. And then you're shocked when someone gets in there and says, yeah, I'm going to shrink it down to size. I'm going to cut it down to size. This woman was committing fraud. Now she owes $35,000. Okay. She was arrested. She was in there for a couple of hours in her TikTok, collection. There was one video. I can't find it. And I'm not interested in scrolling for days looking for the one where she was literally just walking out of the jail. Like, yo, they had me in jail for this. You committed fraud, woman. And then you're on camera with it. Okay. Don't sit here and say that you're upset that the big, beautiful bill wants to put in restrictions and standards for you to meet as individuals, okay? So that if you're going to get the handout, you have to meet a requirement, okay? You have to meet standards. We're not just going to be giving out money anymore. That's what this government wants to stop. That's what this administration wants to stop. Go ahead, keep on complaining. It just gives me more content. You guys get in the comment sections and let me know what you think about this whole thing. Because again, wasteful, fraudulent. This is why Doge exists. This is why we elected President Trump. This is why. So yeah, you just proved our point. Don't sit here and tell me that you got a problem with this when people are committing fraud. You are robbing the taxpayers. It's a problem. It's a problem. It needs to be dealt with. Get in the comment sections and let me know what you think about all of this. I'm very excited to see how this looks. Hopefully the Senate gets this passed because I just want to see the freakouts. The freakouts are funny. They're just funny. They're funny. Love to watch it. Love to watch it. You guys, again, get in the comments. I love you guys. If you are new to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way you never miss an episode. You guys, love every minute of this. God bless. Have a good night and Kepla.